What's good, YouTube? This your boy Will, the Indicator Trader, and I'm back with the sauce. All right, so I'm about to show y'all a real quick video. It shouldn't be too long. Very easy to understand. Simple rules. Patience is profits. Another thing, guys, do not listen to these people when they try to say they don't use indicators. They do. Your top trader out here, billionaires, trillionaires, millionaires, trader, whatever the hell you want to call it, they are using indicators. They want you to get away from indicators so you don't make the money. Do not listen to people. It's not about how many indicators you use, it's about the method of the indicator. Do not listen to these people. Trust me, they are trying to get you away from the money. I'm trying to tell you, you got to understand indicators work when using it correctly. All right, you have to understand that. Do not listen to these people. I hate seeing videos when they do bad videos about indicators. Trust me, those are the ones who's really using it. Trust me. All right, so let's get into this video. So first thing first, all these right here are just confluences for you to get in that market. So we got to buy here. We got to buy and play right here. It hits the bottom of the Will Street. That's what we like. We get the Will Alert here. Okay, we like that. We get the Will Alert plus close. More confluence. But we can't do anything until that 8 crosses the lips right here. So once the 8 crosses the lips, we can confirm that happened like right here. Confirm. All the will plays in the Will Indicator must open blue. We can clearly see that happened right there due to that momentum right here on this candle right here. Once all these rules are met, all right, we're gonna go to the 5-minute time frame and wait for the pullback, meaning price has to come down, hit the bottom of the Wall Street, and we're gonna enter when we see the 8 must still be above the alligator lips right here, and we have to enter right when we get a Will Alert. If you missed it right that second, you still could get in on the next closing of the candle. So for example, right here we see the 8 is above the 5. All we need now is a Will Alert. Once we get a Will Alert, we can enter right when we get that Will Alert or on the closing of it. So right here we're going to put a 100 pip stop loss. From that point on, we're going to target the top of the Will Street on the hour time frame. All right, so once we get that entry, 100 pip stop loss, we're going to target the top of the Wall Street on the hour chart. And it's always going to be roughly a 1 to 5 to 1 to 7 trade. So that means you have 5 times to be wrong. All right. The odds of you being wrong out of 5 times waiting for this, very rare. Okay. Because you patiently wait, it's going to go in your favor. All right. So right here will be entry. You can break even by option in the middle of the Will Street. That's optional, okay? So you can see it did eventually hit take profit, 800 pips. So that was roughly a 1 to 8, all right? So let's say you missed these rules. We all know that the will for entry point comes late, all right? So what we want to wait for is for it to close blue, which will be right here, and wait for the same exact thing. Once we see that happened, after all this, if we missed all this, we're going to go when the Will for entry point closes blue. Sometimes it's a pullback, sometimes it's not. But when you follow these rules, it don't matter what's the pullback. You're going to get that entry. So we already know on the hour chart, the Will for entry point closed blue. Now, I know you guys are going to be like, but it closed back red. Don't worry about that. We already know that is a fake out, okay? Follow the rules. We know that this trend is going up. We see the momentum going up, and we already know that it has to hit the top of the Will Street. So once we see that, we're going to wait for the same exact thing. Go to the 5-minute chart after the Will for entry point closes blue. Go to the 5-minute chart and wait for the same exact thing. Price must hit the bottom of the Will Street. This is the pullback we wait for. The reason why we're waiting for the pullback to get that sniper entry, okay? Now, some people be like, why you want to enter there on the cross of that? That's not the rules, okay? That's not the rules. So we get the pullback that we're waiting for. Now, with skills, you can get in that, okay? Because once you already know that you're buying skills, you can get it. You can get an entry at the bottom of that with your skill. But if you want rules that works and you don't have to try to frustrate your brain and aggravate your brain and try to get entries right here, just follow these rules. You're gonna get in a trade. So we could see we see the Will Alert plus. We see that right here. The 8 crosses above the alligator lips. We see the 8 is still above the alligator lips. When we get a Will Alert, we can enter right in that candle or the closing of the candle. I would enter right when I get the Will Alert because that is momentum. So I would enter some roughly right here. But if you entered on the closing of that candle, 100 pip stop loss. Now this trade would be roughly a 1 to 2. So you put a 100 pip stop loss down from that area. but you can still hold this trade based off structure too. So if no low is broken, you can continue to hold this trade. But if you don't want to be greedy, just get out the take profit is when it hit the top of the Wall Street. So right here, take profit. That was a 1 to 2 trade, perfect trade, and you had a 100 pip stop loss. So that trade ended up being a 1 to 2, perfect. You still got profit. You still hit a 1 to 2. You still ate. That's only if you miss this buy setup. Only if you missed it. You shouldn't miss this because you get notifications on your phone when a buy and play. You get alerts when you see that. So you should not miss these setups. So right now we got a will alert to sell. Right, we're gonna wait for the same exact rules. We can clearly see this thing is overbought. We see the 200 right there. So what we're gonna wait, and we see a double top is forming. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna wait for the 5 on the alligator ellipse to cross the blue of the 8 EMA, and we're going to need all the will plays to open red. Once we see that, we're going to go to the 5-minute time frame, wait for the pullback, which means price is going to buy back up to the top of the Wall Street on the 5-minute. Now, you have options. Once you know you're looking for sales, if you have skills to get in earlier instead of waiting on indicator, do that. But I'm showing you guys the rules so you don't have to have the headache and going like all out of the box. I'm giving you guys the rules so you can understand. So again, once we see that this 5 crosses that 8 EMA and all the will plays in the will truncator opens red, we're going to go to the 5-minute chart, wait for price to pull back up to the top of the Wall Street, and then the 5 lips on the alligator has to cross the 8 EMA. Once that happens, the 5 lips have to be above the 8 EMA. Once you see it's above that and you get a will alert, enter when you get the will alert, or you can enter on the closing with a 100 pips stop loss with a take profit to 500 pips to 700 pips. So understand, every time you take this trade, the reason why this is really good with risk management, because your risk to reward is always a 1 to 5. So that means you have 5 times to be wrong, and the odds of that happening, I don't see it, to be honest with you guys. If you do take a loss, don't worry about it. You have 4 more tries to be correct. So you're going to get that loss back plus the 400 pips. Understand, the rule in this game is risk to reward. If you do not have a proper risk to reward, you would not survive in this trading game. I know when I came out the first time, I was a 200 pip stop loss person for 20 pips. And I know it was crazy, but the odds of it doing those 200 pips was really, really high. Went on 30 winning streaks, 40 winning streaks. It just, when you take that loss, it'll wipe out half of your profits. You won't lose all the profits, but I noticed I got to get my risk to reward right. And once I noticed that, it's a game over. So the whole point of this is, guys, once you know what you're looking for, it's easier after that. Once you know it's buys, it's easy for entries. Once you know it's sells, it's easy for entries. And that's the game of Forex. Know what you're looking for, and it's easier from that. And this was a quick video. It shouldn't be long. I'm going to do another video of structure using the Wall Street, showing you guys how to use that. I got all the sauce for y'all. So understand, guys. Don't worry about it. Follow these rules, you will be profitable. So right now we can clearly see we're in a sell setup. So next week for US 30, we know sales. We're gonna wait for the rules though and catch these sales entries. All right. So if you guys got any questions, I got all the answers. Let's eat.